Merci. Noswaith Dar, I think. Good evening, my name is Joe Mitchell, and I help run something called Democracy Club with Sim and Tim and some other superstars who are here this evening. We're building the digital infrastructure for a 21st century democracy. Well, what does that mean? That's quite a vague thing to talk about. We think democracy is a different kind of social problem. So it's not air pollution, it's not how we fund the future of the NHS, it's not how we deal with climate change. It's implicit in each one of those problems, and it's critical to how we're going to move forward and solve those problems. Better political decision making benefits everyone, and yet often feels like we're kind of using Victorian era technology in the 21st century to try and do that. If we were starting from scratch, a blank slate, where would we go and what would we do? Well, at Democracy Club we think with good data and with good user-friendly kind of services, it should be possible to notify people about decisions that are affecting them when and where, and it feels natural to them. And it should be possible for those guys to take part in those political decisions in a way that feels normal, in a way that's user-friendly, that's as easy as clipping a few buttons on an app. And we're a long way from that at the moment. This is Amy's experience at the election last year. Couldn't find her candidates. Pretty basic question, like who can I vote for? She wasn't alone. These are the top 5 Google searches on election day last year, all of which related to the election. People trying to get information and failing. Top 2 are about candidates. So at Democracy Club, we thought we'd have a bash at trying to solve that. And we sort of built an army of 2,000 people to crowdsource what was the most accurate and comprehensive database of candidates I think the UK has ever seen. The data was so good, Google put it on their homepage, which was quite cool. So if you click that link, popped in your postcode, you would get a list of actual local candidates to you. So that was powered by Democracy Club data. And that's the dream, right? So we do the data, and then some massive media partner takes it to millions of people. We think we reach millions of people this way. And we're going further in 2016, so there are elections in May, which you might not have known, but do pay attention. Elections in May, Mayor of London in London, a few other London assemblies, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland. And we're crowdsourcing 12,000 candidates for that. So we're going to need your help, so that's going to be an ask for later on. But it's not just candidates. People are asking, where do I vote? This is Faye in Bristol, and she's on the phone to the council. She can't get through, presumably because everyone else is calling the council, trying to find out where to vote. She wasn't alone, obviously. Questions 4 and 5 were about where do people vote? And why can't people just Google this stuff? Well, because it's a data problem. Because the data's locked up in 400 different councils across the UK. There's no central body in charge of collating this stuff. So for 2016, we thought we'd have a crack. We've just partnered with the Welsh Government and the NUS in Wales to build the first nationwide polling station finder in the UK, which is there right now. And we're getting more and more data, and it's becoming more and more useful. It won't just work in Wales. We're hoping to get some decent coverage in England and Scotland, so do check that out. So democracy runs on good data, and it's really hard to get it. And it's not just candidates, it's not just polling stations, it's election results, it's council meetings, it's when a decision's being taken, who's making those decisions, how can you get involved. And once that data platform exists, and exists regularly, and we're going to keep doing this, then that's when the designers, the journalists, the big media companies come in and make it into useful information for voters. And that's when it all gets quite exciting. But as I said, we're mainly sort of a group of very committed volunteers at the moment, and we need to be slightly more than that. We need some serious stepping up of our resource. We think we're quite inexpensive, so I want to use this as an analogy. This is the physical infrastructure of our democracy, and it's falling apart. And you guys are about to fund £3 billion renovation for this place because water's pouring through the ceiling, like rats are chewing through cables in the basement. It's a bit of a nightmare. But what if just a kind of fraction of that kind of money was spent on kind of future-proofing our democracy through some spending on digital infrastructure? We think that would be quite a good idea. So my ask to you guys is, can you connect us with the people who make those kind of decisions? Do you know civil servants? Do you know politicians? Who do you think would be interested in taking this stuff seriously? Also, obviously, join the club. It is a club. It's free to join. You hit the website at democracyclub.org.uk, brand new website launched today, and help us find some of those candidates. And lastly, if you are a journalist, if you're a designer, come partner with us to use that data to make it useful and interesting for voters. I think democracy thrives when everybody takes part. So I'm looking at you guys. Please come join us. Thank you very much.